By the end of this video, you'll be able to have fun planning your epic comic or manga story from beginning to end. No figuring out as you write your script, no multiple rewrites or drafts. You'll also learn the World 1-3 shortcut to tell a more manageable version of your story if you decide the length of your epic is way too long. All thanks to Super Mario 3. Worlds 1 to 8 is your epic story. The first step is to start with the end in mind. World 8 is the last leg of the character's journey. At the end of World 8, character becomes whoever they need to be in order to achieve their goal. What is the message your main character will demonstrate at the story's end? The transformation the main character goes through is what the story is all about. And when they achieve the goal, together it becomes the lesson you want to convey to your reader. It's the theme or moral of the story. Like the player who beats Super Mario 3, they learn that they can overcome any obstacle by being able to try, fail, learn, and adapt. In other words, if at first you don't succeed, try again. So grab a pen and paper or open up a document. Go to the bottom or far right of the page and write the answers to: who is your main character? Who do they become? What goal do they want to achieve? Some examples.
God's bold prophet who leads his people out of Egypt. A mature avatar who defeats the Fire Lord, ending the war. A powerful ninja who becomes Hokage.
At the top of your page, write the answer to: what kind of person is the main character at the start of the story? What is the longing in their heart that they desire the most? What sparks the MC's desire to chase after the main goal? This is like Mario at the start of the game with no power-ups and Princess Peach has been captured. Some examples to help.
An adopted son of Pharaoh's daughter who wants to help his people be treated well. An miniature avatar who wants peace. An unskilled ninja who wants acceptance.
Worlds 1 to 8 are the qualities that the main character needs to become who they're meant to be, and the plot points required to achieve the main goal. These are like the variety of worlds with their unique themes and gimmicks, like World 2 being a desert, or World 4 where everything is giant-sized. So on a separate piece of paper, layer or fresh document, let's list out all the qualities the main character needs to have in order to be the person they need to be by the end of the story. For example, in order for the adopted son of Pharaoh's daughter to be God's bold prophet, he needs to be
patient, humble, confident, compassionate, trustworthy, full of faith, tough, hopeful.
Next, list out all of the plot points or key steps your main character must take in order to make the main goal possible to achieve by the end of the story. To continue the example, in order for him to lead his people out of Egypt, he first must
flee from Egypt, meet God, return to Egypt with his brother, prove his credibility to Israelite elder, prove his credibility to Pharaoh, call down 10 plagues, hold first Passover, leave Egypt with his people, wait for the Lord to part the Red Sea, cross the Red Sea.
Don't worry if you have more or less than 6 plot points and qualities. It's whatever is needed to tell the story that matters the most. Next, number the plot points in order of when they should happen. Then pair the quality you believe makes the most sense for your main character to gain at that particular plot point. Just like the game, the journey will become increasingly harder for your character. It's okay if not every plot point has a quality to go along with, but for focus and clarity, I wouldn't recommend a plot point that has more than one quality your main character learns or develops. Now list them out however you place the worlds on your paper. If you've been following along, congrats, you've just planned out your epic comic or manga story. But it's not over yet. It's time to go deeper. Let's take a closer look at a world map from Super Mario 3. The level has a number of things on them: stages, keeps, mushroom huts, spades, and sometimes hammer bros and coin ships. Some of these things are required for the player to do, some are optional. But what this means for your story is the details of the story structure, the beginning, middle, and end. Think of the stages as the events that need to take place in order to flesh out the plot point. Think of the keeps representing the opposition, challenge, or problem that will highlight the quality the main character needs but is lacking. Mushroom huts and spades are the power-ups or support to aid the character in their journey towards their goal. Depending on your story, it could literally mean a power-up, help from a friend, or wise or timely advice that your main character chooses to take. They may use it to their advantage immediately or save it, only for it to come in clutch at a later time. Depending on your character, they might be oblivious to it or reject it. The Hammer Bros are the hype moments to test the character in their belief or qualities they already possess. That could come in the form of rivals or surprise challenges and things like that. Coin ships could be those rare moments when your main character can have something go really well for them or a break from the chaos. Just like when playing the game, they could be avoided or missed. Here's how I like to outline the narrative using these 12 story beats. You're going to fill out this outline for each plot point of your story. I find it easier to do when they're turned into questions. I'll give you an example. If you don't know already, my examples come from chapters 1 to 15 of Exodus. I highly recommend reading it if you haven't before. Let's say World 1 plot point is flee from Egypt. The quality he gains is compassion. In ancient Egypt, Moses is visiting his fellow Israelites because he is not a slave like they are. He comes across an Egyptian slave driver beating an Israelite. What Moses wants is to stop it from happening. He goes to intervene. Moses murders the Egyptian, then hides the body. The next day, he encounters two Israelites fighting with each other. Moses tries to break up the fight. They reject Moses and reveal that they know that he killed a guy when he believed he could get away with it. Moses becomes wanted for murder. Though he has compassion, he still lacks all the other qualities to be taken seriously by his fellow man. Moses decides to run away to escape being killed by Pharaoh. Moses successfully flees from Egypt. Then Moses goes to live in Midian. It'll take some time, but once you're done, this detailed outline will result in a 60 to 70% of a completed script. But what if you're looking at your story map and you're like, I want to tell this story, but it turns out I'll die before I finish this? This is where the secret of World 1-3 comes in. In this stage, you can find the first of 3 warp whistles in the game. With it, you can skip levels. In the same way, you can skip plot points to shorten your epic. But that doesn't mean the development gets skipped. It's a player with experience with the game that knows how to find the whistles. Depending on how many levels you skipped, the plot points and qualities prior becomes the main character's backstory and what he or she enters the current story equipped with. What levels are left is what they need to complete their journey. Let's use Moses one last time. We use the warp whistle and jump to world 7, waiting for God to part the Red Sea. We have some awesome movies like The Ten Commandments and the greatest animated film of all time, The Prince of Egypt, depicting this epic moment where Moses puts his staff into the water and the sea instantly splits in two. But did you know, in scripture, it took an entire night for this to happen? Fast, but definitely much slower than the movies. From what I can find, it probably took 3 days to go from Goshen, where the Israelites lived in Egypt, to the edge of the Red Sea. Then Pharaoh and his army caught up with them. So, if all the qualities Moses would need, I'm going to say patience. Everything that was skipped for the sake of time becomes part of Moses' character moving forward. To use another video game analogy, instead of starting with a level 0 Moses, you have a Moses at level 60. Thank you so much for watching and God bless.